Greetings, technology enthusiasts. I am Chandrahas and I am delighted to be here with you representing CyberBrainer. Do you not believe that the technology sector is advancing at an unprecedented rate, making this an opportune moment to acquire the skills that will facilitate your progress? With CyberBrainer, we are empowering you to take control of your own future. At CyberBrainer, we do not merely impart your interests. We assert that information is power, yet it is the application of knowledge that distinguishes you. Our courses are meant to equip you with essential skills, whether you are pursuing data science, understanding artificial intelligence, or delving into cybersecurity. Let us commence the session and seize the future today. Thank you.
So today, what we'll do is, I don't know if the other guys are joining. That will continue. Today, what we'll do is we will do the blanket purchase orders. Let's do one thing. We will finish the item returns first, and then I will show you the blanket purchase orders. Let us go to the purchase order that we have created yesterday. So if I click on the document number, we get it sorts by the number. So if I click on document number again, we will get the latest purchase order, which is this AAA Consulting. This is the one that, no. This is not the bread supplier, is the one that we had done now. What was? Where is our purchase order? So many transactions happened after we did that. I think bread supplier 317, amount is 214. I think bread supplier. Is that the one? I think the amount was a little high. We have received like 10 quantity. Staple stripplate. The quantity that we received was 10, I believe. Where is that? Where is that? Let's do one thing. The user also will be the same Roger user. These are all for today 24 date. So hang on. Let us see. Let's filter it by dates. Sort it by dates. Yesterday was April 3rd. Oh, I don't see anything. But I think that someone delete our transactions. I remember, sir. It was the TV was some monitor. You're purchasing for quantity 10. Exactly. So did someone delete our transaction? This is what happens in test instances. Anyone can delete anything. So we can delete, sir. Actually, I was about to ask you another question. With the purchase order between, you can delete as an administrator. Administrator will have full access. They select and delete it. So first you have to select the upper transaction, which is the vendor bill, and then item visit, and then purchase order. It is filtered by status, and that's the reason it is showing open. Hold. There you go. This is the one. They have filtered it by status, and that's the reason we were not able to see. So I have opened the purchase order. When I do that, there will be something called as authorized return. Or you can also do it from here. You go to transactions. Authorized return option is that you go to transactions, purchases, and return authorizations. Enter vendor return authorizations. From here also, you can select the purchase order and do the same thing. Now let us click on return authorize. What I am doing is I have purchased 10 quantity, but out of that 10 quantity, 2 I don't require for some reason. It could be quality, it could be quantity, it could be anything that we do not want to have the quantity. So let's go down. Let's go into this view. Scroll down. Let's remove this part. We don't need to return the expenses. We just want to return some of the items, but not the expenses. So I have removed the expenses part, and what I'm saying now is I am returning to quantity, and you can save it. So once the vendor return is saved, you will see that the amount and everything is there not 307. So in that sense, that amount will be there, which will be a vendor credit. So this is pending return now. So this vendor return also will have the GL impact, which will be exactly opposite of what the purchase order impact is, because we are trying to return it. Now in a purchase order, the first transaction was that inventory on stock was debiting and the purchase orders were crediting. It will be exactly the opposite of that. Whatever we had done in purchase order, the vendor return authorizes. There is a GL account called vendor return authorization. That will be a debit, and then the inventory on stock is a credit, which means we are sending the material out of our warehouse. We had 10 in the warehouse and 2 we are sending it. Doing the vendor return authorization today. I don't know if you joined on time, but if you go to transactions and purchase orders list. So what I did was on the purchase orders that we have created. This is the one that we created. There will be an option which is called as a authorized return. So once you click on that, it will take you to this vendor return authorization page. So on this vendor return authorization, I have removed the expense part. I don't want to return the expense. Expense is an expense anyways, so we don't have to return. Now on the items, what I've done is out of 10 quantity, we are returning 2 because of the quality issue or whatever it is. I have saved it. So here in this transaction, what happens is once you click on return the 2 quantity which is there in our warehouse due to quantity issues, quality issue, we have to return that to the vendor, which means this will go to the item fulfillment page. Earlier we were doing the item receipt. When a purchase order is created, we do an item receipt, and when the item receipt is done, we get the quantity into the warehouse, the vendor bill is done and the payment is done. However, for 2 quantity, we are returning an authorized. We are authorizing a return saying that the quality is not good and we have to ship the material back to the vendor. The 2 quantity which is there, we are trying to ship it back to the vendor, correct? Yes, and then if you click on. So this is an item fulfillment, which means we are trying to ship out the material. Whatever we have taken the LED monitor 24 Ultra inch sharp LED monitor, which we are sending the quantity back to the vendor. So item fulfillment is done. The transaction has been saved successfully. Now let us go back to the purchase order, and if you refresh, it is fully built. One second. So let's go back to the item that we have. So when you go back to the item, go to the purchasing inventory tab, scroll down and here the quantity. Let's start 1 second. location. This is the one. CA1 location, we had 15 quantity and now it's going to be only 13 because we have returned 2 out of it. Any questions on this? No. So this is the item receipt that we have done. Let's go back to our vendor return authorization again. This is the transaction that we have done. So once you go to the vendor return authorization, there will be something called as refund. It is a pending credit now. When it says refund, don't think that we will get a refund. No, you have to refund the vendor will send you the refund. Because you made a payment for 10 quantity. You made a 500 of payment, out of which Dell 600 he has to give us back because we have sent out the material. Understood that? The 6543 is what he has to give it back to us. So you will create a refund within the system. So you will create a refund within bill credit. This is a bill credit. So if you click on save, what happens is this gets saved as a credit within the system. It will be a credit against this particular vendor. So when you are making a payment next time, whenever you're trying to make a payment next time, this credit that is there as $6.05 will show up as a credit over there. So let us say you have to make a payment of $1,000 the next time. So you can exclude 399. I'm sorry, you can exclude 605 and make a payment for 395 because this will be available as a vendor credit on this customer. Any questions on that? So yes, tell me. If you mix payment by, if you mix payment by cash or if you directly deposits in the bank. So how does it work then? Everything has to be recorded in the system. If you do not record in the system, it will not be available. So if it makes direct payment to the bank, so we have to record here, sir. Absolutely, you have to. That has to be done. Yes. I went into the pay single vendor option. Here you can select your vendor, which is AAA Consulting, I think, our vendor. I think that's, oh no, it's bread supplier. This is how you search. You do a %L symbol, then it will give you all the options that you have there. So now if you scroll down, you see this now for this bread supplier, there is a vendor credit for 6,443, which is already there. So next time when you put in a purchase order, let us say you created a purchase order for 1,000 and you have to make a payment for 1,000. So this vendor credit that you see over here will be applied automatically, or you can take that amount off and make a payment for the rest also. You can click on this, apply the payment or just remove it. 60543. So that is about your return authorization. So now what we will do is I will show you how the blanket purchase order works. We are done with the purchase order process. Let us go into enter blanket purchase order. So this LED monitor that I have, what I'm saying is every month I need to buy from this bread supplier for some quantity. Let us say 10 quantity per month I have to buy. So you can specify what the end date is. Let us say June 30th or whatever. And when you scroll down blanket purchase order, I don't know why are we getting this view always. End date will be January 30th, I'm saying. You can select the class, department and location and everything as well. So items, under the items, I would say this is my item. Let's say 30 quantity. Tax. Let's save it. If you scroll down, there is something called as a schedule next to it. Usually this will not be available on a purchase order. So if you click open that schedule, you can edit the schedule. So there are a couple of options. If you want to create your purchase orders manually, you can do that or at lead time. So you can specify that first of every month I need a purchase order for 10 quantity that has to be generated. Or you can auto generate this as well. So if you see, we have generated the frequency as weekly. And that is the reason every week you will get a purchase order for 2 quantity. Now let us say I have taken a monthly thing. Monthly, and then I clicked on auto generate. So when this happens, it will generate 4th of 3rd of every month, April 3rd, May 3rd, June 3rd. So 3rd of every month, I will have a 10 quantity purchase order which gets generated automatically. So I will say release this. We would have to say first, click on. I'm just releasing one purchase order for now. So click on. And save it. So once you save this transaction, it will take you to that generate purchase order screen and it will generate that particular purchase order that we have done. So this is an automated process which happens. And this is a manual process that we are doing by generating the order and then by clicking on release automatically. But if you select generate on time, lead time. So you can specify a date and automatically system will generate that purchase order. If you see, my purchase order got generated. PO 130 got generated, but this will just have a 1 quantity. I'm sorry, 10 quantity. It will not have 30 quantity. Out of the 30 quantity, the 20 quantity will be generated. Next month for 10. Likewise, one more transaction which will happen in June. That also, so this purchase order is again the same process. You will receive it, you will bill it, you will take the inventory into the warehouse. Everything would still be the same on a purchase order that we have done. But it's only that the blanket purchase order, if you see, the purchase amount is 3,127.60 now, but for only 10 quantity. So you can go into the purchase order and go into related records. It will show you that it got created from a blanket purchase order somewhere. It will show, it has to show under the related records. 1 second. There will be a link somewhere showing that it got generated from a blanket purchase order. This particular purchase order that we have done. Here it will show clearly. If you go into the schedule, it will show clearly that one purchase order is generated for Pawan 30. The others are pending. And you can. It's not that you have to wait until then. You can click on schedule and then release this directly also. Even that can be done. Go into it. So for the second purchase order also, if there is an urgent requirement, then you can actually click on this release directly. You don't have to wait for that particular day. And then say and release it. Once the purchase order gets released, another purchase order gets created for us, which is 131. Any questions on this? Let me process this purchase order also. So I'm receiving this purchase order. It's asking for location again. I think on the purchase order itself, we have not provided the location. Maybe. But it should not allow us to move forward. I will say, the location is not saved. So, since it got created from a blanket purchase order, the location, even if it was not mandatory, the location was mandatory, but still it got saved because it was getting created from a blanket purchase order. If we were doing it manually, then it would have said, now, do you see, the location is defaulted. So I'm unexpected error. What is this? What happened now? Let's go back. Location is saved. Do we have the location at the line level as well? It should be there. Tax. There you go. So it got created from blanket purchase order. This is what I was looking for earlier. That is fine. But why are we getting the error? Let's see. I think the line level purchase order is hidden. Let us see. Usually, there will be one location here and there will be another location at the line level also. Looks like that location is hidden, and on the form, I have shown you how to hide the fields. So probably that location is hidden now, and that's the reason we are not able to see. Let us see. Green field. Sublist fields. This is hidden. Let's go back to our purchase order. Take the location. It's strange that I still don't see the here it is. I'm saving this purchase order now after saving the locations at the header level and at the line level as well. Let us see if we are able to process this purchase order. Now I have the quantity. I have the location and everything. So hopefully this was strange. Notice the unexpected. So you might get errors like this when you are trying to do something, when you do the transactions and all, and you have to try and resolve those errors. There is a script level error, I think, which is getting that. But the procedure is still the same, as I mean generating the purchase order through blanket purchase orders is what we are looking at now, correct. So the entire process is still the same. Looks like somebody must have enabled a workflow. Workflow is also not active, which is fine. I'll see why exactly this is happening for this item receipt. But what we have done with the other purchase order yesterday, we have done all the item receipts and vendor bills, just like the way you have to do for this as well, and then come into the reports. So if you go into the report overview, there are so many reports that you will see for purchases. So what the activity that you will do for today is go into these reports for vendors and payables. And purchase by vendor, purchase by item, purchase order receipt, open purchase orders. Just go by these, open all these reports. Let's say go to API, or you can go to purchase by vendor, and you will be able to see all these reports. How many? By vendor, by bread supply, you have a 2979. So you can click on that and it will open up a detailed view for you. There is a bill credit C339 is what we have done. And there is a bill credit for 459.93. Document for document number 11. All these things you will be able to see the transactions. For this month, these are the transactions. If you click on this and take week or month and then refresh, it works this way, or you can take year and then refresh. Let's say you will take anything. I mean, you can select the last week to date, or probably you can select last physical half. And if you click on refresh, it will give you the entire data which is there. So July to December, there was nothing. Last physical year is July to December. There is nothing, no transactions over there. So what you can do is probably change this to January 2024. And this to the present date, which is what? April. And then you can refresh. You will find the date over here. So please go through all these reports. AP aging report. What is AP aging report? These are the different buckets from March 4th to April soon. What is the open balance for this particular vendor? So $6,000 I'm supposed to pay. But why am I supposed to pay? If you click on this view detailed report, it will show you the bill credits or the purchase orders, whatever are there. It will show you what you need to make a payment. So this is how the finance team will actually work. Emerald computer system. So if I click on this, it will show me what are all the transactions. We see there is a bill for $370.50 which is overdue. So I can click on that and I can go to that particular bill and then make a payment from there. When you click on this, it will open the bill option that you have and I can make a payment from here saying that this is due for me. $50 is due. When I click on make payment, it will take me to this particular screen wherein the bill gets selected. And then we are paying the Emerald computer system. This is the vendor and we are paying from this particular account. Click on save. And if this payment has already been done outside of NetSuite, this is what will be done over here. Whenever you come here, you can take these aging reports that I have shown you and then do it. So this is a vendor by detail. Now, likewise, you have a lot of reports for your purchases, which is vendor by item. How many items did I put? What is the quantity of item that I purchased for each quantity? That will show. Purchase order register. You have opened purchase orders. Only the purchase orders which are open will show up over here. Purchase order history, AP aging, AP history by bill, AP payments history by bill. So the open bills. Whatever bills are open. Now you can actually go here and then you will be able to see open bills over here. The report will get generated. Whatever is open, all the information will be visible like the bill, the vendor, bill date and everything. And you can customize. As I have shown you last time, you can click on customize. And if you want to bring in a few more fields like under open bills, maybe you want to have adjustment journal, you can bring it here. Or you want amount due, you can bring that option also here. Amount due, then you can see. You can view and you will be able to see all the reports. I think we will stop it for today because we are done with the entire purchasing process. But before you join tomorrow, please go through all these reports and see how things are. Click on each report and see where exactly you are able to navigate. Are you able to open the vendor bill and everything? And you will understand how exactly the reporting structure works for you. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.